Am I the a-hole for not supporting my friend after she tried to ruin my relationship with my partner? So here's the deal, I am 30, female, have a best friend, Carla 31, female. We've been friends since we were kids, grew up in a small town called Hartford Falls, about an hour outside of Seattle. We've had our ups and downs over the years, but nothing that would ever make me doubt our friendship until now. For context, I've been in a relationship with Mark 33, for 3 years. Things have been pretty great with us, we're planning to get engaged soon, and he's honestly the best partner I could ask for. He's caring, funny, supportive, and gets along with everyone in my life. And then there's Carla. She's always been the type who's just a little too involved in my life. Sometimes it's sweet, but other times it's a little invasive. She's been single for a while and has been vocal about how much she wants to find someone like Mark, someone who has their life together and can support them emotionally. I always thought it was just harmless banter. At least, that's what I thought before all of this happened. Around a month ago, Mark and I were getting ready for a weekend trip to the coast, just a short getaway to a place called Cape Larkspur, a quiet town by the water where we could relax and unwind. Carla had been texting me nonstop for a week leading up to the trip. At first, I thought it was just her being herself. She's one of those people who likes to stay in touch all the time, but it started getting a little weird. She'd been asking questions like, "Are you sure Mark's okay with you going away for the weekend? Doesn't he get jealous? And it's so great that you're taking time for yourself, but doesn't Mark have some issues with your independence?" At first, I didn't think much of it. But then I realized something that made me uneasy. Carla was acting weirdly interested in how Mark and I were doing. She'd ask me to tell her every little detail about what Mark did, how he reacted to things, and even how much time we spent together. The more I thought about it, the more it felt like she was trying to get some information for herself. I shrugged it off as maybe her being in a lonely phase or just overthinking things, but I should have listened to that gut feeling. Fast forward a few weeks, and Carla and I were having lunch at a place called Tally's Diner, a local spot that we've been going to since high school. We were catching up, talking about life and relationships, when she started asking more pointed questions about Mark. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Mark is kind of distant sometimes, don't you think? She asked, stirring her iced tea. Distant? I frowned, not sure where this was coming from. What do you mean? Well, he's always so serious, she said, leaning in a bit. He never jokes around with you the way other couples do. I mean, I've seen you two together, and there's this tension. I'm just saying, I think you deserve someone who's more present, you know? I stared at her, trying to process what she was saying. It felt off. Carla had always been protective of me, but this felt like she was implying that there was something wrong with my relationship. Carla, I don't know what you're talking about. Mark and I are happy. I'm not going to sit here and listen to you talk about my relationship like that. Her face softened, like she didn't mean to make me upset. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just meant. Well, sometimes it's good to keep your options open, right? I felt a chill. What was she implying? It was like she was hinting that Mark wasn't good enough for me, and that maybe I should be looking for someone else. The real kicker came about a week later. I was scrolling through my phone after work when I saw a text from Carla. At first, it seemed like an innocent enough message. Hey, I hope you and Mark are doing okay. Just checking in. I thought nothing of it, and I sent a reply telling her everything was fine. But then, right after I sent the text, something strange happened. I got a Facebook notification that Carla had posted something private, only visible to me, on her profile. It was a picture of her and Mark at Chadwick's Pub, the bar we always go to on Friday nights. But it wasn't just a casual picture. It was a picture of them together. They were sitting at a table, laughing, with their faces close, clearly having a good time. There was nothing inherently inappropriate about the photo, but the context was what hit me like a ton of bricks. Carla had invited Mark out behind my back, and they had hung out for hours without telling me. I was beyond furious. I tried calling her, but she didn't answer. So, I texted her, "What is this? Why didn't you tell me you were hanging out with Mark?" She replied instantly, "Oh, it's not a big deal. We were just catching up. Mark and I have a lot in common, you know? Don't worry, nothing's going on." But something about the way she said it made my stomach churn. She didn't apologize, didn't explain. It felt like she was trying to downplay it like it was nothing, but I could tell it wasn't nothing. There was something deeper going on. That night, I confronted Mark. I was shaking when I asked him about it. "Mark, why didn't you tell me about hanging out with Carla?" Mark looked genuinely surprised, which threw me off. "What are you talking about? I didn't think it was a big deal. Carla and I were just talking about some stuff, you know, catching up. She said she wanted to talk to me about a few things." I couldn't believe it. "About what things?" "She said she was worried about you and me. Said she thought we were getting too serious too quickly, and she was concerned about you." "I didn't think it was anything worth mentioning," Mark explained. That was the moment I realized that Carla wasn't just being a protective friend, she was actively trying to drive a wedge between me and Mark. And she was doing it behind my back. The next day, I called Carla. My heart was pounding as I dialed her number. When she answered, I immediately said, "We need to talk." She didn't even try to deny it. "I know what you're going to say, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you were happy with Mark. He's kind of distant, don't you think?" "No, I don't think that," I snapped. "And I'm done with you acting like you know better than me. You've been trying to turn me against him, and you've been lying to me this whole time. I don't know what you were hoping for, but I can't just pretend like everything's fine anymore." Carla was quiet for a long moment. "I just wanted you to see what I see, okay? I'm not trying to steal him from you or anything. But I can't stand by and watch you make a mistake. I've been your best friend for years, and I just want you to be happy." I shook my head, feeling a mix of sadness and anger. "I am happy, Carla. With Mark. And I don't need you trying to play matchmaker behind my back. You've crossed a line." That was the last time I spoke to her. She's tried texting and calling, but I've ignored it all. The damage was done, and I'm not sure I can trust her anymore. Mark has been supportive through all of this, but I'm finding it hard to get past the betrayal. Our friend group is torn. Some of them think I should forgive Carla because she's just worried about me, while others say I should cut her off for good. It's been a month since everything went down. I've gotten a lot of mixed feedback. Some people say I'm overreacting, that Carla is just trying to help, but I feel like I'm losing trust in her, and I don't know if that's something I can come back from. I'm seriously considering cutting her out of my life, but I'm also torn because we've been friends for so long. Am I the a-hole for not supporting my friend after she tried to ruin my relationship with my partner? I'm hoping some of you can help me figure out if I'm right here. Should I just let this go and move on, or is this something that can't be fixed?